Hello guys, this is XiaoR Geek. Today we'll show you how to make DIY robot car. This car is called donkey car, mainly used for racing. Now let's get started to see what we have inside the box. First, you can see this is menu for this robot car, and also we have the English version for our customers. This is part of car body and is made by acrylic material. And this is part of chassis. These two parts is front wing and tail wing. Screws, cup holders, servo, and camera accessories. Battery, driver board, SD card, battery charger, servo and servo holder, motors, wheels, camera. These are listing parts we have for our robot car. Now let's get started to install process. First, we'll start to install the servo. First, we need to install the servo holder to the chassis with 4 screws. And once this step finished, we need to use the screw nut to fix the servo holder again. Okay, next let's install the servo to the holder. The servo needs to be fixed with screws. Next, install the part to the servo. And the servo part can rotate to 0 to 180 degrees. This part is also need to fix with screws. Okay, now we can see the servo is successfully installed. Now let's get started to install the steering structure. This is the steering part. Now let's insert big bearing to the inside hole of steering part. Next, we need to insert the small bearing to the outside hole of steering part. Next, we need to take the metal axle from the side of the large hole of the steering part. Then we need to rotate the axle to ensure that bearing is installed successfully. Next, we'll install another steering part with the same way. After taking some screws and nuts, we need to fix the long nylon holder in the corresponding position of the metal chassis with M3 nut. It's the same way to fix the rest of nylon holders. Next, place the triangle. Next, place the installed steering part and the metal piece and fix it with screws. Okay, with the same step to install another side of steering structure. After two sides steering part is successfully installed, we need to adjust the length of the screw rod to make the steering of two sides keep parallel. Okay, next, we adjust the length of the short screw rod to fit the distance between the servo rock arm and the left connecting point. Next, we need to use M2.5 long screws and non-slip nut to fix screws in several steering arms. In addition, the M3 long screws and nuts are used to fix both sides of the long screw rod. Okay, we can see this part is successfully installed. But attention please, we need to check if all the screws and nuts fit well. Finally, we need to move the steering part to check if the steering is normal. Well, let's start to install the wheel. Firstly, we need to put the hexagonal coupling into the inner hole of the front wheel. And then we'll put the bolt into a small hole in the middle. Thirdly, put the wheel on the axle to make the bolt match with the hexagonal coupling groove fit with screw. Okay, we can see this wheel is installed successfully. And then with the same step to install another wheel. Okay, the front wheels is already installed. Next we'll start to install the back wheels and motors. Firstly, cut the wire into two segments in two folds. And then solder the wire to the motor with a soldering iron. Then connect the other end of the motor wire in parallel. The two wires need to cross-connected into motors. Okay, next we need to place the motors to the chassis. And the motors need to be fixed with the screws. Okay, after the motors successfully installed, let's start to install the back wheels. Insert the wheel to the motors directly. Well, next we'll start to install the battery. Place the lithium battery in the center of the chassis. Next, the battery needs to be fixed with nylon webbing. What's more, the charging port is also need to be fixed with the nylon webbing. Okay, the battery is installed well. Now let's get started to install the car body. First, remove the protective film on both sides. Firstly, place the car body with 4 long cup holders. Okay, next we need to place 4 short nylon holder in the middle of 4 mounting slots. Next, we'll fix 2 long cup holders and 2 screws in the hole of metal chassis. Before placing the car body to the chassis, we need to take the wire out through the hole in the car body. And then we need to use screws to fix the chassis and car body. Okay, the next step, we need to install the camera. First, we need to separate Raspberry Pi motherboard from the power board. And then we need to insert SD card to Raspberry motherboard. And then next step to place the Raspberry Pi motherboard on a nylon support holder. We'll use 4 short nylon holders to fit the Raspberry Pi motherboard. Next, we'll install the power board to the Raspberry Pi motherboard. Here we can see the 3 color interfaces of several wires: orange, red, and brown. Then we need to connect the orange interface to the yellow interface of XiaoR in the power board. And then next we need to insert the battery output interface into the battery socket interface of the power board. Later, we need to loosen the screw of the M1 group motor in the power board with the screwdriver. Then connect the two sets of wires to the M1 motor interface respectively. Okay, the next step, we are going to install the camera. Firstly, we need to remove the protective film of camera accessories. Secondly, we need to insert two small holders into the base. Thirdly, fix the base to the cup holder of acrylic board with M3 screw. Next, we need to fix the top part on the mounted camera base. Finally, install the camera to the camera holder. And then connect the camera USB cable to the USB interface of Raspberry Pi motherboard. Now we are going to start our last step to install the front wing and tail wing. First, to install the tail wing to the short cup holders in the car with M3 screws. And then we'll install the front wing to the car with M3 screws and nuts. Okay, our donkey car is made finally, and if you have any questions, please contact with us anytime. Thank you.